What's up, guys? So, as you know, a bunch of new CTs came out. So, what we're gonna do as usual, I'm just gonna watch my Ghost versus the expert staff Ghosts while I give my thoughts on the track itself. Alright, so first off, we have Bowser's Termination Station. Now, this is a track I found to be pretty creative with its design, to be honest. There's a lot of interesting turns. Like this one right here. This entire section is actually very interesting. It's pretty bouncy too, so it's not something you see nowadays usually on CTs. Usually it's all a flat road. And then you have the shortcut right here. This shortcut can be pretty mean. It's a lot tighter than it looks. If you misinput a little bit, you're gonna be off the track or like stuck on the side of it. Yeah, this track, I think it visually it looks great, as do all CTs nowadays. Like, having your CT look good is like, yeah, it's still impressive, but it's almost like a requirement nowadays to have your CT look good to be in CTGP. And to be honest, I don't mind it. So right here, we have a strat, but I fuck it up massively. I lose a lot of time there. It's not the end of the world, though. This ending is actually pretty interesting. It's like you have this thing from Rainbow Road twice in a row. I actually kind of like it. It's pretty goofy. But yeah, this track I actually kind of like it. Like, it's not perfect. It has some design flaws, but the way it plays, it's actually pretty fun. I don't know why it plays online, and honestly, I don't really care about that because CD's online, Lamau. But yeah, overall, I think I like this track a little bit. It's not one of my favorites, but I don't mind playing it. If it were to be picked in a CT Mogi, I would not lose my marbles. But yeah, the shortcut is pretty precise, as I said in the previous lap. This run is like not good at all, but I just wanted to beat the expert Sav Ghost. That's my only goal with these runs. This part is actually pretty fun to drive. Like, it flows perfectly into itself. I like it quite a bit. Yeah, this part right here, I do it a lot better this lap. You can go a lot tighter, like this. This ending is pretty damn weird. Like, you have boost pads wide, but the next turn is like tight. The boost pads are on the side where the turn is tight. So yeah, that's Bowser's Termination Station. Overall, I would give it probably a B tier. Like, it's passable. There's a bunch of things I do not like about it. Like, the way it drives sometimes can be awkward. The shortcut I don't like at all. It's pretty awkward too. But overall, it looks good, and it plays decently. So next up, we have DS Rainbow Road. Let's lower the volume a bit, because let's see. Yeah, this track is actually really good. It's a pretty faithful recreation to the DS version. This part is so fun to drive. I love it. I like it a lot. And right here we have a kind of a shroomless moon jump. It's also pretty fun. Unfortunately, we don't have the loop, but it's not the end of the world. The way they handle that section is actually pretty good too. The shortcut is pretty weird because you're like kind of forced to trick into it, which I don't really like. Because tricking with a shrooming with a trick boost is it's not really satisfying, you know? It feels like you're wasting all the trick boost. But yeah, overall this track it plays really well. And it looks great too. They did a really good job. I love how they stayed true to the DS version with those 4 boost pads on the spiral. Like, those are in the same position as they were on the DS version. But yeah, this track, I can see it being pretty front-run heavy, because there's only the shortcut that's right there. There's no shortcuts anywhere else. This part is really cool, actually, to make up for the other loop. I love the way they do that. Like, it's sticky road and it's all tricks. Yeah, this track, I like it quite a bit. Honestly, I would give it an A tier. It's very fun to drive. And it looks great, and it looks great, so this is a pretty good combination usually. I don't know what that was. I kind of messed up the strat. I kind of like the shroomless moon jump, abusing the no sticky road, because sticky road on a downward spiral, on a downward slope is actually very slow. That's why you see strats like the ones on Goldmine, where you get to skip all the sticky road. Now this part is really interesting, because you don't only want to spam tricks, you want to get some wheelie triggers in there to save the maximum amount of time. So yeah, that's DS Rainbow Road. It's a pretty good addition to the pack, I would think. It looks great, it plays great. I actually like it quite a bit. So yeah, like I said, I would give it an 8 here. And those first two Expert Staff Ghosts are actually not that difficult to beat. Like, to beat the one on DS Rainbow Road, all you need to do is know the moon jump. Alright, next up we have GBA Ribbon Road. This is also kind of a new addition. Ribbon Road was in the pack before, but they completely revamped it. And honestly, I think I like this version a decent amount more, because the old one was so clunky. You could feel like it was a very old design. And there's a lot of interesting strats on this one too. You're gonna see a bunch of weird shortcuts coming up. We have this one right here, and then the next one is the one that caught me by surprise. Like, you can land on this, and honestly, I did not know until I watched the Expert Staff Ghost. I was going around every time. Then you have this shortcut right here, pretty standard stuff. Yeah, the track drives pretty well. I'm not that big of a fan of the shortcuts though, I'll be honest. They can be pretty clunky at times. Sometimes you're gonna get a bunch of hair and they feel pretty weird too. Like, I don't mind them. I just wish they were less important. Also, this Expert Staff Ghost is kind of a joke. It's this fucking Birdo. Birdo has a like negative speed stat. So you should not have a problem at all beating this one. So you just drive here. Like the hitbox on the road for these platforms is super lenient. Like, you can drive almost off the track and the track is gonna like teleport you back on. It's pretty weird. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty faithful recreation to the MKWii version. And honestly, sorry for that. Honestly, like I said, I like it more than the previous version. It also looks pretty good, so that's never a bad thing. But yeah, you're gonna see lap 3 is pretty weird because you know the baby booster, which you can trick on lap 2. On lap 3, it's like no longer there. And the first time I approached it, lap 3, it broke my ankles because I tried to go on it and I tricked off the track. So you can see, yeah, it's open, so the platform's no longer there. You can still do the shortcut with like the big ramp, as you can see on the Birdo on the minimap did. But I decided not to do it because I was super far ahead and I didn't need to risk driving off to beat the Expert Staff Ghost. But yeah, overall, this is a decent track, I would say. I like how it looks. It drives well for the most part. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the shortcuts at the end. They kind of feel mandatory because you lose too much time going around. So I think this track could be very front-run heavy. And shock is also going to be super important to deny top spots the cut. So yeah, I would give this a B tier. Alright, next up we have Ostabloon's Palace, I think. Or Ostagloon's, I don't really remember. But yeah, this track is, honestly, at first I did not like it. But after giving it some more thought and playing it some more, I actually started liking it a lot. It just, it drives well. Like, all the turns flow well into each other. And also, it's a Pokemon team track, so you know it's gonna look really good. I actually like this strat right here. Get to skip the whole turn. But yeah, that strat definitely comes with some risk online. There could be a POW, there could be a shock. So it gains time, but at a risk, which is something I always like. This part is also pretty cool. You have a shortcut in the middle. Right here, you can go for a trick, but I opt out of it because getting a trick that actually gains time is actually not easy at all. And yeah, this Expert Staff Ghost is actually not that easy to beat. It took me quite some time. So yeah, this track it looks great, and the driving actually grew upon me. This part right here is actually pretty difficult to drive optimally. Because you need to hop for your first drift a lot earlier than you might think. And that part's also pretty cool. You have an upward slope drift, so that's always fun. I like those quite a bit. This maze part is pretty awkward to navigate, but I also like it. You have a few options. I assume there's like item boxes on the other path. Like, I love tracks that give you options, and like, even if I dislike this one at first, I can recognize that this track gives you a lot of options with your driving to like avoid backspams and stuff. You also have a cool shortcut right here. So yeah, I think this track is very balanced, like running wise and like comeback potential wise. Yeah, I think this is a very good track. And yeah, as you can see, this expert staff ghost is actually not that easy to beat. Like, his driving is very good. Obviously, he's using the heavy me, so you have a slight advantage with Funky Kong, but it should take you some time to actually beat this ghost, because it's not easy at all. There's also the fact that this track is pretty long, so you have a lot of opportunities to fail. Like, if you complete a run, if you complete a clean run, like, you should beat the ghost. But actually getting a clean run, it might take you some time. Yeah, this track is it's pretty good. I like it quite a bit. If I had to rank it, I would give it a solid A tier. Like, it doesn't have really any flaws, really. Like, it can be a little bit janky at places, but that's CTs for you, so. But yeah, guys, this is gonna be my CT review. Hopefully you guys like it. I plan to do this for like every track update because it's like an easy thing to do. I think it's also fun to play the new CTs, and I like giving my thoughts on them. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe, because you know I do a lot of Mario Kart content, and if you're here watching this one, you might enjoy my other videos. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.